Hello everyone, thank you for your time to quickly watch this tutorial. We're looking at the curriculum management program and just maybe a practical illustration of how it works that is hopefully that will be helpful for some of us who may not be familiar with the different functionalities of Excel. Right, what this program does, it assists the teacher to break the subject in question down into its subsections and then into the modules and then into the learning outcomes for each modules. Then to allocate activities for each one of those outcomes and to take all of that and to put it into a timeline and then to allocate marks for each outcome and to generate a total mark allocation. That sounds like a bit of a mouthful, but it's actually quite simple. So let's quickly look at it. You have got the process set out in the guide, but I think it's good if we just look at how you actually do this on Excel, just to familiarize ourselves with the different functionalities as I've mentioned. Right, so what we do, we looking at the example that I'm currently working on. This is computer science. You'll see that I have got two sections here. If you look at row 9, I've got section 1, theory of computer science, and then down here, row 35, I've got section 2, practical problem solving and programming. Each one of these sections has got a block. Block 1, data representation. Block 2, communication and internet technologies, and so on. And then each block is subdivided into the modules. And here we've got binary systems, and then we've got hexadecimal, and there's a repetition here, which I'm just going to take away for the time being because I'm busy working on it. That might be confusing. There we've got 3 different modules under data representation. Where did I get all this stuff? Well, I got it right here. This is the document that I downloaded from the Cambridge website. It's the syllabus content, and I am not very original. I simply copy what I've been given here, which is very good. There's the theory of computer science. There's the practical problem solving and programming. And here we have our sections or our topics and our modules. So what I've done is I've taken this and I've simply copied and pasted it into this document. So you don't have to go and retype everything. For instance, binary systems, you can highlight it, you copy, you go right here, and you will go to cell B11, and this is just a word of caution, and I'll tell you why in a moment. If you change it, rather don't change it in the cell, change it up here in this bar. So I'm going to, let's say there was nothing there, then I simply would have pasted my information there, and it'll obviously display in the cell. Whatever I put in there will display in the cell. Okay, and so you can carry on. How do I activate the cell? Now you've got to be very careful. If you click on the cell, you're going to be confused because you're suddenly going to jump to another sheet. Remember, Excel has got this wonderful capability that you can add sheets at the bottom with tabs. I think you're all very familiar with that. And you can create links. Now in this case, I have already created links. And the little pointing finger indicates that we are looking at a link. If I go to cell B14, total block, I can click there, no problem. If I go to cell B15, I can click there, no problem, because there are no links. And if I do that, I can double click in that particular cell. I can highlight, or I can change and edit. I can do it down here in the cell, or I can move my cursor up. I can do it up here. Okay, I can't do it with these cells because they are hyperlinked to those sheets. And in order to change or edit the contents of a cell, what I do, it's very simple. I click outside the cell on an adjacent cell that is not hyperlinked. It's not going to take me somewhere else. And then I use my arrows to simply navigate myself there. So I clicked on cell A11. I use my right arrow and I've just landed on it. Okay. Now, as I say, this doesn't mean that I can work on it. If I click in it to get my cursor active in order to type, I'm also going to jump to the actual link. I don't want to do that. So I navigate myself there with an arrow, and then I work up here, which means that whatever I copy over here, I'm going to paste in here after I've selected the cell down here. It's as simple as that. Right, that gives you the ability to literally construct an entire breakdown in this section of the spreadsheet that will give you an overview of your main sections, your subsections, and your modules. We're going to, for the purpose of this program, we're only working with 3 levels. If there are more levels, for instance, whatever binary systems as a module is subdivided into, I'm going to do that on the outcomes page, which we'll visit in a moment. And if there's too many, what I will do is I will then create another module for binary systems. So this is not cast into concrete. We can change this to suit ourselves. Right? You will see, for instance, block 4 here in row 29. I've set security and ethics. And I've got one module for security, I've got another one for ethics. If you go to my actual overview in the syllabus, you will see that these are really not modules. They are subsections. But I've decided to combine 1.4, 1.5 and turn it into a subsection, and to take each of these and turn it into a module. Right? It's as simple as that. So you're going to have 3 levels, and this is what is going to be portrayed on the left here. What do I do if I want to use the template that I've received and I want to add an additional row? Let's say I've got 4 subsections for my first block. It's very simple. You take your cursor right there to the row underneath the new row that you will add. So let's say that you want to add between binary systems and hexadecimal. You want to add a new module. What you do is you simply select row 12. You wait until you have an arrow, you click, and it will select the entire row. And then you right click and you say insert. And there you have it. So now what you can do is you can work in this cell. But before you do so, what you need to do is you need to copy the formatting of the previous row into the new row. How do I do that? All that you do is you select the previous row like that, right click, copy. And then, very important, you do not select the row in which you want to paste it, because it will paste it ad infinitum across these cells. You don't want to do that. You click on the first block. You right click and you paste. And you have just pasted the formatting of this entire row. Okay, and this is important because some of the formatting comes with formulas and so on. You don't want to retype all of that. So what you've basically done is you've duplicated row 11 in row 12. Now you can change it. The first thing you're going to do, obviously, is you're going to change the numbering. So this must become number 2. That's going to become number 3. That's going to become number 4. Okay. You're going to want to change the heading of your new row. It's not binary systems. You copied that. Okay. If you have copied the actual formatting and you click on your new cell, it's going to take you to the link because the link has also been copied. Okay. In other words, you must do what I told you a moment ago to do. You must click outside of the linked cells and then navigate yourself with your arrow to that cell and then work up here. And let's say this is not called binary systems. Let's say this is called trinary systems. There is no such word, but just for the purpose of the explanation, there I've got my trinary systems. You see. So now I can keep on adding as many rows as I want. Let's say I add one row too many. And I think, uh-oh, I want to take it away. What do? I'll simply go select it, right click, and I'll say delete. Okay. That's how you do it. It's very simple. Trinary systems, actually, I just made that up, so I don't really want it. So I'm going to delete that as well. Okay, so I'm not going to change that to a 2, I'm going to change that to a 3. What you will see is that up here, you have got little icons where you can also insert and delete and format. So you can play around with that. But for our purposes, if you just right click here, it'll be fine. Okay, so this is number 1. This is the first thing that you've got to do, and you've got to do it with your entire subject. I'm going to stop here. This is literally the first section, namely the breakdown of syllabus content 1.2.1. The moment that we're done with that, we're ready for 1.2.2. How do I break my syllabus content down into learning outcomes for each module? Thank you for watching.